The inmates have broken free and are running rampant in the city. It's up to you and your team of vigilante heroes to bring them to justice, provided you are who you say you are. Vigilante is the new hidden identity game from Paranoia Rising Games, in which players don the mask of a hero and assemble a team to bring justice to the streets. But not everyone is in it to be a hero. Among you are players with profit and power as their goals. To set up the game, select your scenario based on the number of players and gameplay you want. You'll use the card to determine all the details in setting up the board. First, you'll use the scenario card to determine the number of good, neutral, and evil players that will be in the game. Shuffle the appropriate number of identity cards and secretly give each player a card. Players will also select identity tiles for other players to peek at in order to guess their motivations. Take one of each type plus an additional of the alignment matching your identity card. The scenario card will also tell you the number of each level of villain to include in the game. Shuffle the appropriate number of each villain level separately from each other, then place the level 3 villains face down on the board, followed by level 2, then level 1. Next, each player receives a player board as well as a player screen, 2 dice, 4 energy tokens, and a starter hero from the separate starter hero deck at random to be placed in the first hero slot. Place the hero deck on the board and place the top 3 cards face up beside it on the board, where they can be recruited, and place both the main deck and agency deck on the board as well. From the events bag, draw a number of event tiles as shown on the scenario card. Deal each player a number of cards from the main deck as indicated on the scenario card. Now you're ready to play the game. At the start of the round, the starting player will secretly look at 2 event tiles drawn from the bag and place one of those tiles on the board with the other events. During your turn, you will then have 4 energy tokens that you can use in any combination for the following actions. You can draw a card from the main deck, or if you have 3 or more villains in your prison, you can draw from the special agency deck. The decks contain equipment and one-time use cards that can give bonuses and effects to your heroes, and ambush cards which can protect you from various threats. You can fight a villain. To fight a villain, reveal the top card of the villain deck. Then, that villain will deal damage as indicated to the player's heroes in each of the hero slots. Mark the damage dealt to the heroes with the damage markers, and alive heroes will then deal damage to the villain. If the villain is defeated, it's placed beside the player board in the prison, and if not, it escapes to the bottom of the villain deck. If a hero is defeated, it's placed into the side of the player board marked for defeated heroes. You can heal a damage from a single one of your heroes by removing a damage counter. Or you can recruit some new heroes from the hero market to your team by discarding enough influence to meet or exceed the amount required by the desired hero. To discard the influence, notice that many of your cards list an influence amount in addition to their effects. You may discard any number of cards in order to meet the influence requirement. Once a hero has been recruited, place it on the next hero slot on your player board and immediately replace the empty slot in the market with the next hero from the top of the deck. You can also spend an action to return any amount of equipment from a single hero to your hand. Any equipment attached to heroes that are defeated will be moved to the discard pile. Once you've completed your 4 actions, roll the 2 dice behind your player screen so that the other players can't see, and select one of those dice rolled to reveal, placing it on the board. At the end of the round, when every player has had a turn, trigger each of the face-up event tiles that correspond to the dice on the board. The starting player token is then passed to the right, and the next round begins. To win the game, remember the scenario card from the beginning of the game will tell you how many rounds will be played in each game mode. Once the final round is completed, the game is over. Each identity card received at the beginning of the game outlines how to win for each player. The hero players, for instance, need to have a total number of jailed inmates equal to 7 times the number of players with good identities, while the evil assassin will win by preventing that. Neutral players have their own missions and may win on their own or with the other good or evil players. And that should give you a quick overview on how to play Vigilante. Thank you so much for watching. Be bold, play games, be you. Happy gaming!